Well, the police then announced last night that it was banning this demonstration, arguing that the itinerary chosen was too risky, that the protest could prevent the free movement of people or goods. It's clearly yet another blow for those who want to take peacefully to the streets to oppose President Macky Sall over the postponement of the presidential election. Consequently, organisers of today's march have called it off. Who are these organisers? Well, it's a civil society platform made up of various groups, teachers, NGOs, religious leaders. We met them yesterday and they were quite hopeful that this march would take place. They said they wanted to take to the streets peacefully, but also that they had a very clear objective, and that's for the electoral calendar to be restored. Let's take a listen to one of these religious leaders, Imam Ndiaye, explaining to us the goals of his movement. This was, of course, before the news that today's march was banned.
Those who have raised their opposition to this procedure will have to continue until constitutional order is restored. We do not count on stopping here. We have been able to mobilize the entire international community, all domestic organizations, to chant the same slogan as us, rejecting this unilateral delay in the election.
Despite all of this, Clovis, are the Senegalese still going to take to the streets in protest later today?
Indeed, that civil society group we just heard, Asunu Election, is holding a press conference this afternoon. They won't be taking part in what would have been a peaceful march. Instead, you have other opposition parties calling their supporters to oppose President Macky Sall, to voice their anger loud and clear today on the streets of Dakar and across the country. You have word spreading on social media with attempts to mobilize, gather supporters, and you also have the government who's just released a statement. First, let me just tell you that on Friday and Saturday, during those deadly clashes in previous demonstrations, 3 people were killed. More than 260 people were injured. So there are fears that more violence could erupt on the streets of Dakar and nationwide. And the government has now released a statement saying it will cut off mobile internet access at some parts of today in order presumably to prevent mobilization, to prevent any action from opposition parties during these demonstrations.